Fight Time Network.
Back to Fight Time Network. We got the UFC Fight Night in Vegas. Cannonier versus Rodrigues recap coming right at you. It was a pretty wild night. How you doing, Lee?
Had better days after UFC cards, as a professional sports MMA bettor. This is not one of my shining nights, although that's the game, man. And that's why we tune into the sport week after week. Unpredictable. A lot of stuff we didn't see coming happening. And here we are. We're about to go over it.
Hell yeah. Start off the card. We had Connor Matthews gets knocked out by Jose Delgado, round one, 2 minutes, 58 seconds. It was a one-sided event the whole time, truthfully.
Well, give credit to Connor Matthews for landing one takedown. He did get Delgado down. And, for that first half of the round, I was like, oh man, are we going to see a drug out Matthews decision? Because the possibility was there. Delgado did not look like he was responding to that wrestling particularly well, but he was able to get up after a minute or so, get back to the feet. That spinning back fist kind of changed the nature of things. And then ultimately he found that finish quickly.
It was awesome to see a young gun come out, contender series, and put on a show like that, get a finished round one. His brownie points went up with Dana. Huge, my friend.
Absolutely. And this is one of the ones that I did see it going this way. Lots of people were figuring Delgado was not going to let it get out of the first round. Like I said, Connor Matthews got that takedown, but Delgado definitely finished the fight in highlight reel fashion.
He looked beautiful, that's for sure. Excited to see his upcoming opponent. Next up on the card, Rodolfo Vieira goes to decision against Andre Petroski. They both landed, man, but both of them just took it, is all I got. It was a pretty boring fight, but not. They're both really slow, it seemed like.
What a disappointment for this one was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy for us to say we're not standing across from two very, very large men that could put our lights out at any given moment.
Right.
But the consensus was there was more to be expected. Vieira's got power. Petroski's got power. They both got wrestling and grappling prowess. We just expected to see more techniques laid out and more engagement.
Yeah, I mean, Vieira was only 1 of 11 of takedowns, man. I got to give Petroski props for that. Because he was even off balance a couple times, man, and he ended up somehow not going to the mat. It was very
Yeah.
impressive.
He even took him down at the end there and just sort of just walked away. Like, look at it. Like, see, I can play that too, man. You ain't getting set up on me. And it was just, I think Vieira was expecting Petroski to give into his power a little bit more. I think Vieira was expecting to be able to land the takedowns a little bit more at ease. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And he had to go to a plan B, which ultimately was, to not get knocked out or out wrestled by Petroski.
I mean, it was a barn burner. I'm kind of surprised all the judges went the same way. Because, I mean, first round, Vieira outstruck him 14-13. Second round, outstruck him 24-22. And then both of them even at 20-20 in the third. Him defending the takedowns is what really solved it for him.
Absolutely.
Kind of excited for Petroski because he was in kind of a little pickle here. Who knows who he's going to be fighting next? Same with Vieira. That was a tough loss for him, truthfully.
Yeah.
They're going to have to find some real opponents for these guys because there was no real out. They might even run it back. Who knows?
Yeah, I can't say that both men's stock go up after this fight, but I don't think it hurts either man. I mean, Vieira was coming in off of a win streak, so ultimately he's got something in the chamber next for him. And Petroski really needed a win. He got it. And with the following that Petroski has, with him coming off of the Ultimate Fighter, that win's going to set him up for his next bout, and hopefully he can put a couple together because, the fan base really does love both guys, and they really do love Petroski.
I agree. Next on the card, Ismail Bonfim doesn't come out into the second round against Sadikov. Not sure if it was a miscommunication between the translators and the doctors. Either way, Sadikov hit him with the nastiest question mark kick. Yeah, it wasn't the most powerful, but how it was placed, how he whipped around that guard, man, hit him perfectly right there. It was just, it was beautiful. And everybody was underestimating Sadikov against Bonfim, my friend.
Yeah, I had Bomb Fiend heavy going into this one. And when I watched the round play out as it was going through that, as Bomb Fiend was landing that right hand
Mm-hmm.
at will, getting in on him, pressuring forward, I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I expected. All Bomb Fiend all day long. And then we get to the last minute of the round and that kick comes up. It's like, oh, that one looked like it hurt. Like recover, recover, recover. And then he was trying to go back and get it back and give a couple of shots
Yep.
forward and ultimately played it smart, clinched up. But you could see him blinking in the clinch there. I'm like, that's not good. That's not good. And unfortunately, man, that's MMA. It just takes one. And although Sadikov was not leading on the striking by any
No
means in that round, he did send out the one that counted.
percentage. Mm. Yeah, Sadikov was pretty much looking, he was getting his ass whipped until he caught him with that kick. It is what it is. Sometimes it just happens. It's a fight game, my friend. It is
The
ruthless.
Vaughn feet. The what I get his coaches had to have told him, hey man, we just got to watch for that kick. You got him everywhere else, just watch for that kick. You see what happened to Borshev? All you got to do is watch for that kick, and what gets him in the end, that kick.
Part of the game. He'll bounce back. It'll be all right. It's not like he got slept. He just didn't come out of the second round. He was injured. He can kind of mentally, you can snap back out of something like that pretty easily. But good for Salikov or fucking Sadikov.
Sadiga.
Moving on. This is kind of impressive. I didn't expect Edmund Shabazian to finish him in a minute and a half. I thought Buka maybe have at least 2 rounds in him. But he got finished pretty quick, and by God, Buka might be done, my friend.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because he came into the UFC with a lot of
So
hype.
much hype.
There was a lot behind Budka. And I wanted him to, it wasn't that I expected to see him do more, it's just I wanted him to see him do more. And ultimately, that wasn't the case. I mean, Shabazian is a mother. And, he caught him, he put him down, and he put him out first round. Shabazian, really a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to take anything from that fight, truthfully, other than Edmund Shabazian. His accuracy was great when he was firing. He was firing. And it took 7 shots to finish him. So, I mean, all you can do is say he's great out the gate, and he knows he is now. So maybe we'll see fireworks right off the rip from Shabazian in the next couple fights, no matter who he fights, man. It's going to be exciting. And I think Dylan Book is probably going to get cut, but that's my
Maybe
thought.
he'll find his way back. He's still a young man, and he was lighting it up in those regional promotions. And he got a good following behind him. People know who he is, so if he could string together a few, maybe he'll make his way back. There'll be a short notice. Maybe we'll see him on the Ultimate Fighter one
Yeah.
time, or maybe he'll come back through the Contender Series. But I don't think it's lights out for Booker. It's probably done for the UFC for now, but Shabazian is a hard guy to get past. They
Yeah.
really weren't doing him any favors.
No. But it was a good test to see where he lays at, and if he's here for the UFC, and he is not above the cutoff, I believe, is what it is. And Shabazian, I am super excited to see who he's going to fight next, and I'm sure he's going to get a big name. So look out for that on a pay-per-view card sometime soon, I'd imagine. Moving on to Calvin Kattar versus Yusuf Hall. This one was really hard to watch. I've been a Kattar fan for years, man, and it's just ever since he hurt his knee, he's never been the same. Probably never will be. That was a bad outgoing for him, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worse off for Zalal. I think Zalal was expected more so to put a stamp on it than Cater was expected to beat him. Like, I mean, there were a couple of moments in that fight where, you know, Cater did touch him. Actually, no, thinking back on it, it was just the optics of it. Actually,
Yeah.
they played the replay back, and Cater actually didn't even hit him. But there was a couple of moments where, you know, Zalal was backing up, moving side to side, looked a little bit tired. And ultimately, if he's experienced against that of an older post-injury Cater, it makes you wonder what's going to be the case in his next challenge. Although he did get the win here, he's ultimately going to go to the training camp. Hopefully he looks at the Cater fight and comes back just a little bit more prepared, because it's not going to get any easier for him from here.
Oh, facts. You couldn't have probably said that any better, dude. You just literally broke down Night in the Fight in the most sexiest way. In this main event, UFC Fight Night 251, Jared Cannonier knocks out Gregory Robocop Rodrigues. Round 4, 20 seconds in. Shocked the world, Lee.
Yeah. I don't care who you are. If you had this on your bingo cards, you were lying, my friend. You were lying. You know, there was a chance Cannonier with his experience would bring it to a decision. Everybody, you know, sort of was seeing that as a possibility, but nobody thought it would work out the way it did. Round 4 knockout. Cannonier is the more better cardio versed fighter in this. It was Rodrigues that was showing where Rodrigues that was being tired. And, you know, Cannonier took advantage of that. Was going how everybody expected would in the first, but after that first round, man, Cannonier really put it together.
Yeah, Cannonier was hanging on by a freaking limb, dude. The whole round. Like, what, 3 minutes out of the whole first round, old Blues just running, trying to, like, stung. Fuck.
Yeah.
He was taking those punches well. I was actually impressed because literally Rodrigues was coming right down the pipe, dude, and connecting. And yeah,
Yeah.
Cannonier, I think, was what, stung 3 times in the first round. It, I'd say.
And for honestly, for what I saw of, you know, Rodrigues, for him to not put the grappling in as much as he could for the world class grappler that he is, you know, he shot a couple singles, didn't really commit to him. I think if he would have mixed that up a lot better, he would have been able to get Cannonier's guard down just a little bit more to find those power shots that were putting him down in the first round.
Yeah. Who knows? That's a tough loss for Rodrigues. Good for Cannonier. I don't know who the hell they're going to match each other these guys up to because they were kind of where they're at, where they're fighting each other in division. They've kind of already beat or lost to the people above them and below them. And now that Rodrigues lost, it's a hard track for Cannonier to get back up at 40. Turns 41 in like a month. So,
Well, ultimately, I can probably see Cannonier getting matched up with Strickland next. That's a good possibility.
good one.
And then I could also see Rodrigues getting the winner of Brendan Allen or Anthony Hernandez, who is fighting this weekend. Either the winner or loser of that is probably somebody out of that matchup will probably be Rodrigues' next test.
That would be a great matchup. Well, all right, everybody. That is your recap of UFC Fight Night. Cannonier versus Rodrigues in the Apex last night. See y'all next time.
Haha, let's go.
Fight Time Network.